Hey everybody, welcome to Valentine TV. As you can see the title, we're doing this David Celeste thing. It's an update for today. Today's update, okay? Y'all can't see my finger. Today's update, okay? Anyway, the truth is on YouTube you can find the story if you want it uninterrupted. But Harvey Levin and his partners on here, right? Not his partner, but his partner from the show. I forgot his name though. But anyway, we're just gonna go ahead with it because TMZ is saying she was frozen. She was partially frozen. No doubt about it. Because they couldn't even get fingerprints from her because her hand she was in a bag and where she had melted, it was water in the bag, and that's why they couldn't get any fingerprints, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and let TMZ tell it, or the truth is, excuse me.
The body of 14-year-old Celeste River Hernandez was found in the trunk of singer David's Tesla. When the story first broke, it captivated the world. It became a tragic murder mystery that was unfolding in real time. At the center of the story was the predatory relationship between a well known artist and a young middle school girl, a relationship that, in everyone's eyes, ended in her murder. While most murder mysteries usually start with the suspect being a mystery, that wasn't the case with this story. Since day one, all the signs pointed at David, with eerie foreshadowing in his music videos and song lyrics that sounded more like a confession than a song. Just about everybody had come to the conclusion that David was likely the culprit behind it all. But even when all the signs were pointing at him, the authorities claimed he wasn't being investigated as a suspect. This confused.
Yeah, it confused us all. He was not even considered a suspect at all, even with this part that they're showing right now and what she blurted out about the raping children. You hear me? And she said that, and then she covered her mouth and said, we got to delete it all." And then that's when he was like, "Yeah, delete all of it." You know what I'm saying?
Everyone, as there was so much evidence pointing to David. But for some reason, the authorities seem to be protecting him, as they have gone out of their way to ensure that David wasn't a suspect. But
Blonde
recently,
hair.
some key information has been revealed that might not only confirm that David is being protected, but also that this was all premeditated. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to the.
Yeah, I wanted the truth is to do it. Thank God, and also the ritual stuff, and then TMZ is also on here talking. Harvey Levin and what's his name is on here, and they are talking and they are quadrupling tripling down on what they said because they got a friend in that corner's not corner. Yeah, in the coroner's office. You're right. So let's just see anyway.
Right into it. By now, we all know the tragic story of Celeste Riva Hernandez, the girl who was discovered in the trunk of a Tesla owned by the well known artist David. At first, no one knew what to think. No one would have imagined this young 20-year-old famous singer would be behind something so horrifying. At the beginning, some people thought that maybe they stole his car and used it to hide her body. But as details began to emerge, it became clear that David not only knew this person, but was in a forbidden relationship with her. A relationship that seemingly led to her demise. With each passing day, new details emerged that kept making David look more and more guilty. First, it was revealed that he made a song called Celeste, where he's singing about a girl named Celeste. Then it was revealed that Celeste's mother claimed her daughter was dating a boy named David, hinting at a possible relationship between the two. Then, it was the live stream. The speculations on whether David had actually been dating Celeste ended when videos emerged of a past live stream where David was seen with Celeste. In the video, they were seen together, confirming what everyone thought. Then it was Celeste's teacher confirming the story, and David's neighbors confirming that they had seen Celeste going to his home. Pretty much everything pointed to David, and when we were all expecting the authorities to reveal they were investigating him, they caught everyone off guard when they instead released a statement saying he wasn't even a suspect. To me and just about everyone else who's heard this, it didn't make any sense. At a minimum, David should have been identified as a person of interest and a possible suspect, but for some reason, he was strangely.
And he had, I keep telling you about that blonde hair. So she had to be already gone. I seen his hair was red when they was on the video, like orange looking. No, it has to be blonde. So yeah, blonde.
being cleared. This right here never made sense to me, and I felt that this was again celebrity favoritism. Since David is a rich celebrity signed to a powerful record label, the authorities treat him like he's more important than others. I can almost guarantee you that if David were just an everyday regular person and not a rich celebrity, he would have been identified as a suspect long ago. But for obvious reasons, the authorities were protecting him. Now, after what was recently revealed, that doesn't seem so far-fetched. Just a few days back, after months of all signs pointing to David being guilty, the authorities finally revealed he's a suspect, which honestly is 2 months too late. The investigators also revealed that although David has been identified as a suspect, he hasn't been interviewed yet. They also claim that David wasn't being cooperative, even though early in the investigation.
And look, and right there, y'all, he look older. You know, and Celeste, what, 14? Because they keep saying the 15, but they found her on her 15th birthday. So that she was gone before that. She didn't even make it to 15, okay?
He was being cooperative. Something else they stated that isn't that surprising was that David isn't the only suspect, now hinting at a second suspect. It was reported by the media that the LAPD homicide detectives have identified a second suspect in the death of Celeste Rivas, making a major breakthrough in the ongoing investigation. They claim to have made this development using sophisticated tracking methods that revealed connections between multiple individuals and a mysterious nighttime journey in the Tesla last spring. According to a lawyer who has a police source.
Why did he show 3 people? It's David, Neo, and I think the blonde-headed girl, the friend. I don't know, I forgot her name, but y'all know I'm talking about. The blonde-headed friend that was on the bus with him, on the tour bus.
Involved in the investigation. The second suspect may have been involved before, during, and after Rivas' death. Detectives analyzed cell phone data, Tesla vehicle information, and location data from social media platforms to establish a timeline of events and identify patterns that connected the suspect to key moments in the investigation. The authorities revealed that both David and the second suspect went on a mysterious trip to a remote area in Santa Barbara. They claim to have uncovered evidence that might suggest Celeste's body was in the trunk during the trip, hinting at the possibility that David and this unknown accomplice made this trip in the middle of the night looking for a place
to put her body. Why they just didn't do it? You know why? Because David has to show that the ritual was complete for him to get his little riches in whatever he sacrificed her for. You know?
Celeste's body. Obviously, since the body was then found in that same Tesla, David must have not gone through with it. Now, on top of all of this, another source who is close to this case reported that Celeste's body showed signs of having been frozen. This is a very crucial detail, as I myself believe this is what happened when I first reported on this 2 months ago. If you saw my first video, then you already know I already said that I believe she was frozen. And now the authorities are revealing that Celeste might have been dead for months. I believe David might have killed Celeste months before her body was found, and he then kept her body from decomposing by storing her in a freezer, meaning her death could have taken place around the same time David was releasing videos where he showed a body being placed in the trunk of a car, which to me, again, points to something much more sinister happening to Celeste. Like you likely heard many times already from the thousands of people who covered this, David often showed a girl who looked awfully like Celeste in many of his videos. He also showed these Celeste lookalikes meeting their demise in these videos as well. For example, in his romantic homicide music video, the Celeste lookalike in the video appears to not only be gone, but being used in some sort of dark ritual. Like our broke.
And don't forget, David likes gore. Look
down
it
in my
up.
last David video, the music video has plenty of occult references. When Celeste is shown in the music video, she is seen lying on a bed wearing a white dress with blood everywhere. You can notice that there are candles lined up all over the room, like seen in a ritual, all while David stares at her demonically. The entire scene looks very ritualistic. When you understand symbolism, you understand that everything is used for a reason. Like we see with the Celeste lookalike wearing a white dress in the music video. That was put in there for a symbolic meaning. In the occult, those who are sacrificed are often dressed in white to represent purity and innocence. This could reference Celeste not only being innocent because of her young age, but literally depicting the sacrifice of an innocent. This video isn't just art. It's a confession. It was foreshadowing what he was planning on doing all along. Since this happened years before Celeste was found, people think it would be far-fetched that any of this was about Celeste. But I believe otherwise. From all my research into the occult, I have learned that some rituals unfold over the course of years. And I see evidence that would suggest what David did to Celeste was clearly ritualistic. It's the reason why he depicted Celeste being sacrificed in this music video. As crazy as that sounds, think about it. This was one of David's breakout hits, a video that shows him sacrificing a girl who looks awfully similar to the girl who was found in his trunk. I believe the information about the body being found showing signs it was previously frozen proves this was in fact a ritual sacrifice.
And them darn words in the song, all you have to do is listen to them. You know, I caged you and I didn't feel it. I didn't care. I didn't feel nothing about it. That's not exactly what the song is saying, but it's what I heard. That's the way I'm interpreting it. Yeah, I did it to you, and I ain't care nothing about it. It didn't even make me sad. So you know what? I'm wondering, is this the first time that he's had to do this? Because the reason they didn't like dump her body is because he has to show that the ritual was complete. He has to show it. And it has to be more than a picture. You have to show that you went through with it.
You guys might remember how I spoke about David using death imagery during his recent tour. Like I said previously, David's tour, which was taking place alongside the police discovering Celeste's body, had a lot of questionable imagery. During the performance, the guests reported seeing a casket setup and a place to write letters to dead loved ones. Think about this for a second. While Celeste's body was being found, David was setting up caskets at his performances hinting at a death. This lets me know one thing. David wanted her body to be found alongside his tour commencing. It was all planned. That's why he was setting up a casket at his shows. This was supposed to represent her funeral, the completion of the sacrifice, which was celebrated unknowingly by his fans. Remember, rituals are all about harvesting energy. What better place to harvest energy for a ritual than a performance with thousands of people directing their energy to the center of the stage? This performance and her body being found were all a part of the ritual. David wanted her body to be found when it got found. That's why he left it in his own Tesla. David had the chance to get rid of the body and even the Tesla, but he didn't. He traveled with the body to a remote area in the middle of the night and didn't get rid of the car or the body.
Exactly.
Instead of getting rid of the body, any of those chances he had, he instead went on tour and left it in his trunk. The car was obviously left out there with a body so that it could be found. He could have left the body anywhere and it wouldn't have immediately pointed to him. Now, the fact that she was
and then he gonna park the Tesla, kept moving it, but then gonna park it in front of somebody else's house where you know it's gonna get towed somewhere. He probably already knew where it was gonna get towed to. So he needed her to be found. He needed her to be found. Now we gotta see how he's gonna get out of it. You understand? It's all darn ritualistic stuff from the higher ups. Okay, and it people's lives are at stake. I'm trying to, man, please.
Also previously frozen, tells us he was storing her body in a freezer to preserve it and prevent it from fully decomposing. Also, the body could be found while he was on tour, like some sick, twisted marketing ploy. It was all a ritual. All his music videos and songs are telling us this. He was never only interested in Celeste as a girlfriend. He wanted to destroy her innocence in every way and consume it. What I believe truly happened was that David got himself involved in occult practices in order to further his career. He started talking to Celeste and chose her to be a sacrifice. He then made several songs and videos foreshadowing the sacrifice, leading up to the moment where he actually did it. He then kept her body on ice in order to have her body be found while he was doing performances depicting her funeral, symbolizing her death. Now, considering how this case has unfolded, it's clear David is being protected. I believe the reason David hasn't been arrested is due to some powerful people who encourage this twisted behavior, helping him cover it up. This is why the police are being so hands-off with him. We all know that anyone else would have been arrested already, but David wasn't even a suspect until just a few days ago. This already seems like the police are protecting him, but after what was recently revealed, we can pretty much confirm that's exactly what they're doing. Just yesterday, it was reported that the authorities working on the Celeste case contacted the coroner's office, instructing them to keep all information private about Celeste's autopsy. Now, the coroner's office refused their request and is currently trying to fight this in order to be able to reveal this vital information. Even they felt it was odd that the authorities will request they withhold this information from the public. Think about it.
And don't forget the PI got a gag order. He can't say not one word about this case anymore. You know, the LAPD has to know first, and then they give us the information. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's why TMZ is hot. But y'all about to see Harvey.
Since the beginning, the authorities have acted like David had nothing to do with this. When they finally admit he might be involved, they try to hide information that proves it from the public. Now, on top of this, the authorities also came out and denied that Celeste's body was dismembered and frozen when it was found, claiming that it wouldn't make any sense. Again, seeming like covering things up. But the thing is, others connected to the case doubled down and told TMZ that the coroners confirmed this themselves.
An LAPD captain is disputing part of a story that we broke over the weekend, a story about David, the singer David, and the body that was found in his Tesla, that body of Celeste Rivas. And the part of our story that we broke over the weekend was that the remains of Celeste were partially frozen when they were found in the Tesla. This was back in early September, first week in September, when they discovered this, when David's car had been towed to an LA tow yard. Well, the LAPD captain is saying that the body was not frozen.
So herein lies the issue.
We have a very well-connected source connected to the medical examiner, the LA County Medical Examiner, which currently has the body. And that source has double, tripled, quadrupled, and sextupled down, actually, now, saying that the body was indeed partially frozen when it was received by law enforcement. So that's kind of interesting, but the medical examiner is just telling a different story, or at least the sources we have, and we have sources in all camps in this.
We know.
There's a conflict here.
We've heard that there's been this conflict between LAPD and the medical examiner.
There's been tension for several years, but this is kind of interesting. One of the documents at the LA County Medical Examiner's office has an interesting statement. This has to do with trying to fingerprint Celeste's body. It says the decedent was not live scanned due to waterlogged fingers.
And the only way they said that you can get waterlogged fingers is if your hand is in water for a long time. That means they said that they found her, she was in a bag and she defrosts, right? So they left water in the bag in which her fingers were in there. So that means her hands were in the bag, right? Oh, Lord. I'll be glad when they saw this one.
Well, that's kind of interesting.
Right. Why would the fingers
be waterlogged?
Well, certainly if the body had been frozen for quite some time and then is sitting in a bag in this Tesla out in the blazing hot summer sun, yeah, you would imagine that there's going to be some water in that bag.
So there's, you got to kind of like look at the big picture here.
To me, all this points to a cover-up. It also indicates that whatever David is doing is connected to powerful people. It's clear that we are not being told the truth about this story, something that has become all too common when it comes to situations involving powerful rich people. Even after the cops named David as a person of interest, I still feel they're not doing enough to bring justice to Celeste and her family, a young girl who had her whole life ahead of her. I warned about how dark the music industry truly is, how dark the price for fame gets. David is the perfect example of that, likely made to dance with the devil for a moment in the spotlight, and Celeste was his price of admission. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you.
That is sick, y'all. He said he'll see us next time, but I just want y'all to see, you know, if she wasn't frozen, because they keep saying she was not frozen, she was not decapitated. You know what I mean? That she was all intact. No. I mean, I don't know. I just be glad when this is over. They could not fingerprint her due to the waterlogged fingers, and that came from the coroner's office, who happens to be good friends with TMZ, Harvey Levin, them, as y'all saw. Okay, that's it, and that's all I got. And the next time I report on this, it will be a significant something. So y'all, when y'all see me record this again, because I don't like this one, just y'all come on over, because it is something different, okay? It's got to be more than just the cutting and the frozen and the head and done from the torso. All that's we're going to have somebody is going to be accountable. So that'll be the next one that I report on. If it will be somebody arrested. Okay. All right. I just wanted to let y'all know that, because this is the last one I'm going to do until they arrest somebody. All right. I love y'all. Thank y'all for coming over, joining Valentine TV. Please hit that like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it so much. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.